What you got in there?
Well, okay, so the hotter one is there's some jalapenos, some serranos, and some habaneros that are fresh. And then I put some dried super hots that I have. So I've got some ghost peppers, some bujalukias, and I've got Trinidad scorpion that I put in there, and very hot. Now there was another one. I put some chocolate habaneros in there.
It's really, it only is good if it makes you like, cry a little.
A little bit.
Cigarette sponsor. Thank you.
No worries.
I already did it this time. Okay, cool.
Are we ready?
I think so.
All right, excellent. We are meeting tonight as the Resident Contact Committee, and we are a volunteer committee that comes together because we care about Fern Acres and we care about making this neighborhood better. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being with us tonight. We'll call this meeting to order. What is the time currently?
It is 7:09 p.m.
7:09 p.m. Cool. Today on our agenda, we only had a couple of items to go over. One of which was hopefully having contact with the moderators of the other Facebook page, who I understand were invited kind of last minute to this meeting. So if they're unable to attend, we understand. But we are encountering an issue where there's a ton of animosity and hostility from certain people in that community and possibly from others that are involved. And we don't really understand why, because we just want to help make things, a little bit better for everybody. So as far as we can tell, we're not really sure what we're doing that would step on any toes, causing everyone in this group to be banned from the main Fern Acres community group. But we do not appreciate that. And we would very much like to find out if we can make peace on that issue and figure things out. Ben, you have the floor. You are recognized.
I'll move up.
Please do.
Yeah, thank you. I think I'm grateful for the meeting. Thank you for Albert. Roy called Albert and allowed us. Yeah,
Yes, thank you very much.
Roy
Big time.
contacted Albert and got us the key to get into this. And that's really great. Teamwork.
Awesome. Thank
Um,
you.
And I was hoping we could create a preamble, something to try to remember why we're here to start the meeting. And for me, the first step of the preamble is that this communication of the road isn't available on the other Fern Acres page. So basically, that's to me, the meaning of our group is because we can't talk road stuff on the other Facebook page. And
But
then
it's not official, not official.
Honestly, it's because it's censored. It's because people are really, really finicky about it. So we're
We don't
just
know.
providing a service that people can have that discussion over here.
I think what we've heard back from them is that they have received so much negativity, and we've seen so much negativity on that page when anything about the road and the finances and anything about the official for an acre business comes up. So that's been very clear to me, and I think that's maybe why they banned all of us for some reason. I really don't know. I actually messaged one of the Richard Walsh about hey, why did you ban us? I haven't violated any of the rules. I haven't heard back from him, but
None of us violated any group rules.
yeah, so there's obviously a lot of animosity and just anger and negativity around what we're trying to do because it's addressing a sore point in the community. It's the communication between the board and the road going on and the residents. So
May not be why, but they may not be aware of how this looks to a third party, but to some, it might look like they're trying to make it impossible for the neighborhood to have feedback on the important things like how our money is spent. And, while there may be some negativity and difficulty on that, that's the job of communications and having a neighborhood group. And you know what, I want to say something. How much negativity have we gotten from the community at large over anything?
I haven't noticed much negativity on road topics on
No.
our verified page at all.
And you know what I think a lot of the negativity comes from is from handling criticism wrong. The people we do have negativity, it's mostly from the moderators of the other group. And those guys, unfortunately, But we don't suppress them, silence them, or kick them out because they don't, we don't do that because we don't like their opinions. That would be ridiculous, right? As a result, there's no drama, right? So that would just be my 2 cents, and that's not meant to insult anyone or anything. Maybe they're not aware of how that looks or how that comes off, but there's a whole group of people who've been kicked out and didn't violate any rules. And we just care about our community and want to be part of it and want to be able to have a say and want to know what's going on. And I think that's reasonable. Who else has something to say?
Well, I just wanted to piggyback on that. All I want to do is do what we were elected to do. And that was to try to represent the community before the road crew makes any major drastic changes that's not okay with the community. That's it.
Excellent. Then,
Yes, I read their rules, they have like 6 rules. Some of them is stuff like you can't private message people on that page. Some of it is, they are not associated with FACA, which is what we're trying to associate with. So
they are associated with FACA, that's just, they
They claim not.
They claim not, but they are.
If they claim that they're not associated with faculty, then why are they in the newsletter?
Yeah.
Right, they're in the newsletter.
Great question.
They're
And so-
organizations.
So we only care about this stuff right now, and maybe you guys correct me. We only care about this stuff right now because we're not able to reach a symbiosis. We're not able to have our page back. We got exiled from the page because we're talking about road stuff on their page. They probably have had enough negativity to claim it's safer to not have road topics on that page. And so maybe that's true, and I'm hoping we can get that answered. And then that is the reason why we're here, is to create an avenue to speak about road stuff.
Well, if that's true, the simple solution would have been to contact us and say, too controversial of an issue for this page, don't mention your road stuff on this page, keep it for the other page, and all of us would have applied.
And yeah, that's the weird thing about this is you'd think they'd be thankful for us taking those highly negative discussions off, but they're not. They are very threatened by that, which
We
doesn't
think
make
they are.
sense. They're acting as if they're threatened, and and we can only guess because they won't communicate with us. We don't know why we got kicked out. We don't know what rules we broke. We don't know why we're being treated the way that we are. I will apologize that I wasn't at the most recent meeting, and I'll go ahead and own that. I've been basically at war with my other jobs and duties over the last couple weeks, and it has actually been like one of the busiest seasons of my life. I was unable to attend because of a couple of different things. I had like days of 5-hour meetings, so I really apologize, guys, that I wasn't able to make it. But I'll be there in future meetings.
And I wasn't able to go in January either to their meetings, and they obviously are really holding that against us. So I had personal stuff come up, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because none of us should be responsible to go to every single meeting. That's why we've been trying to do this online thing. So maybe I could have tuned in from my phone. Like none of us should be individually responsible for doing that every single time. So I don't think you should apologize, and I'm not apologizing about it either. It just didn't happen. So, but we're here now. So that's
If I may, point of order.
yes.
I'd like to go back to what George was talking about. I think it's very valid that we're trying to make some things known. The standards of our operation or what we're creating right now. To me, our fair standard is that we did not start the road topic conversation on their page. That was started by Richard Walsh and David's something.
They were attacking George.
And we responded to them.
Yeah.
And we engaged them after they started. And
Yeah.
we did that out of a mode of trying to solve solutions. We're trying to provide solutions.
Well, and this last time, when they kicked me and my wife off, it was Dave Soley that was acting like a complete child. I mean, even private messaged my wife, being derogatory towards her.
Wow.
That's
So-
really messed up.
Well, that's breaching the rules.
Yeah, isn't that breaking the group rules right there?
From the outside.
So we hope that these moderators are delivering this evenly.
Yeah, we'd like to have a conversation.
We'd like to know.
We'd like to have like a good faith, no barbs, no meanness.
And so we see an issue which we all show up for tonight. And this issue isn't resolved with the other Facebook page. And that's fine. I think it can be okay.
Yeah.
We would like to have a much positive Fern Acres group, which is what I think they're defending themselves with. We want to be on their side. I want to be on their side. And I want to see how their defense is probably appropriate over the times that they've had dealing with us. And people, not us personally, but people probably love to be internet trolls, right?
That's
Well,
No, I'd like
now-
to point out that negativity
Let-
is.
may I
just-
finish?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. So now that they have defended themselves, I would like to honor them and say thank you for honoring themselves
Mhm.
and defending the negativity off of a page that should not be about road topics.
Yeah.
Now, I hope we are here to develop road topics and to be endorsed and accepted in the community for bringing road topics. If there seems to be a challenge with that, we'd love to hear, or an issue, we'd love to work with that. And I think that is maybe point 2 of our preamble. Point 1 would be, we're here because we can't talk about road stuff. We want to talk about road stuff. Point 2 is where to talk about road stuff, maybe. It's here and tonight. And if anybody wants to come up and talk with us, it's all on Facebook Live. We will be requesting a Zoom account from the road fee. We will not be supporting our own Zoom accounts anymore for the road meetings and this topic.
Yeah.
And we need to be having our road fees put towards our communication. We need a Zoom account.
I am using, again, I said that at the beginning, I am using the Zoom account that I've had access to for a while.
You've been
But-
volunteering in
yeah.
different companies' Zoom accounts.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say, I know I can get support to use my organization's Zoom as well.
That's great. The whole point is that we shouldn't have to do that.
That's true.
That's, and I actually did take the time, I took a few hours of my time to write up this, and thank you, you helped me start that. We spent the time to do what we said we would do and write up a Zoom, exactly what the cost would be, how to sign up for it, how easy it is to start and record. And I guess the expectation was that I was supposed to show up to every single meeting and do it. I am gonna do that this month just because I feel like I need to show them it's not hard to do that. And I definitely want to be supportive of making our communications better, because that's the whole reason I started this group, or started to join this group.
And grateful for that. In response to that, we have provided what they requested. A proposal for Zoom meetings and an instruction manual for how to do that. That has already been provided, and we have been showing examples of how to succeed in that. So now it's a chance for them to use it, and if they need help, they can ask us. Here is the need for more community engagement.
Yeah.
So, I thank you for everyone for your comments on this. Just to clarify, this group, whether they accept us or not, all of us have a right to attend, have an opinion, share it, and contact others, and do everything that we're doing with or without the board up. That is your First Amendment right, our First Amendment right together. And just something to note about this group is that even if the board decides that they hate us and they want nothing to do with us, they don't have any control over what we do. And it's one reason why I would suggest that we always maintain for our group, not for the board, but for our group, an independent Zoom account. We don't necessarily have to pay for it, just something that will give us at least an hour each month. It's not much, we could do it on a free account, we could do it on mine, no big deal. Or whatever.
I still think we should push them to
We
do that,
we
but
should,
yeah.
and they'll need their own for their board, and once
Yeah.
they get it, then we should definitely ask them to let us use it, but.
Yeah.
Just as a note, even if they don't, right, what we're doing is at its core, local politics, right? We're trying to make sure that our people know what's going on and have a say in what the board decides. And, my hope is that this is welcome and appreciated, and I know that it is by some members of the board. They really appreciate what we're doing over here, and we want to just really thank them for that. There's also an impression that there's some members in the community who are super threatened, and so I just want to reiterate, anyone who doesn't like this group or the members in it, you got a complaint, please come just talk to us. We welcome that. This is an open forum for everybody in the community. Nobody is unwelcome. We don't hate anybody. We don't like being thrown out of public groups that are for the community, but at the same time, we're not bitter or salty about that. We would just love to find solutions and be able to make sure that everybody's able to live in harmony. So I think that's kind of the ethos for everybody here. Also, I think that there's room for more input, right? We could definitely get more people coming and being a part of this. If we've covered this, the other thing on the agenda would be road items and following up on walks and checks for areas of concern. I know I did not get nearly as much time as I was hoping over the holiday and over January to do hardly anything that I wanted, but I did manage to go and drive slow around the neighborhood. I have identified a few areas that are particularly in need. And I can go ahead and submit those, but to be totally honest, I wanted to walk all the streets on foot. And actually like do that. I know it's brave, but right, a little marathon.
That's impressive.
It sounds fun. I'm kind of down. I'll just go with my ook. And so if you hear the music, you know, come and wave at me. But
Right on.
that's something that I'd like to do to
Yes.
kind of get it, because I feel like I only have a few notes and they're just like here and there and they're probably not exhausted.
I have a few, that's great. Awesome job actually doing it. I did not do any of that. And I definitely want to, let's circle us back to why we're all here is like the road and community stuff. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
um,
So we want to do a trash pickup as well, and that didn't happen for January, but I'd like to try to keep doing that. And let's just keep that on the agenda and keep moving with that. I'll try to help with the follow through.
well, we have a day planned,
Yeah.
which we talked about. I actually made events on the Facebook group.
I saw that.
22nd, right?
It's the 23rd. It's a Sunday. It's from 2 to 4 p.m. That's what we said we'd do. I did create a design for a sign that we could print and put in the front, just say 8 by 11. I did also make another sign that I ended up just sending in the office to see if they would be willing to laminate it. It's of all the meetings and all of the meeting times. And so just having that on the front of the sign and having our cleanup day, which is hopefully you guys can all come, and we're all planning to meet here. Roy did say he could provide, the bags and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get as many people to show up to that. So I'm glad we mentioned that, because I have been in touch with Julie Cron via messenger, because she runs the neighborhood watch, which is traditionally run the neighborhood cleanups, and their officers that usually are doing that with them are busy right now for the next few months. So they actually haven't planned any cleanup days. So I'm really glad that we took the initiative and planned the cleanup day. That being said, we all should help promote it, and I want to get a sign out front as soon as possible. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so
And a big thanks to the board for kind of looping us in on some of the things that they have as much as that. I hope nobody watching gets the impression that the board is doing us wrong. We have not gotten any.
no, Julie's been wonderful. She runs Neighborhood Watch. She does a lot, and so I haven't shown up to Neighborhood Watch, so I would plan to go this month. Benjamin and I and some of us show up to volunteer at the food pantry, as well as get the food pantry. I also joined CERT, so I'm going to be at CERT, which is what Claudia runs. She's on the board, so I'm like going to be showing up everywhere this month. That was my goal, since I had personal stuff come up last month. I just couldn't make it. So, but yeah, so I am in touch with her, and that's good to be in touch with the Neighborhood Watch. We don't want to suppress any other efforts. We only want to add to them and help the efforts that are happening outside this group. And I think we've all said that, made that really clear. Yeah. Good.
Great, and I thank you for that. And I kind of want to try to insert my own opinion. I believe our first curricular activity is road maintenance, and that is like potholes, that is new paving projects and planning, and that is any other road driving concerns we get from the community. In our rules and regulations or our bylaws, it does say to manage road safety, and that's where a lot of justification for our budget for trash pickup comes in, for renting junk like dumpsters and creating days for our crew to accept junk into dumpsters, for pig pickup, for vehicle moving, for sign maintenance, for paint maintenance. A lot of those things And mowing seems to be 80% of our huge budget costs. And I think that it's because the road crew needed and the maintenance on the machines needed and the gas and the time. And I want to just try to influence our awareness that blacktop and asphalt is our main, to me, our main issue, our main concern, our main topic of time. How to buy blacktop, how to bring it in, how to put it on the ground, and how to make the roads smooth and safe. And we have a lot of energy for other things that happen, but I think we lose topic of blacktop is we're a road crew, we're a road committee for the roads. And not so much for trimming trees, not so much for fixing signs, not so much for mowing, in my mind. The roads should come first.
We're not the road committee, but we were instigated by Roy, who runs the road committee, to help communicate better with the residents.
Yeah.
So the road committee should be really focusing on those things, and we're here to hold them accountable to that. And Roy has consistently asked, exactly like you're saying, numbers, gave me crunch numbers, tell me how much what XYZ is going to cost.
And in response to Roy, I spoke with him about the meeting that we missed for January, and I'm so grateful they had the meeting. I'm a little disappointed they didn't practice their videoing so we could all benefit from the meeting without being there. But Roy was talking about a lot of other things besides the road and making the blacktop happen. Whether speed bumps happen, whether visual imparities happen, whether roads need to be widened for better curves. And so he brought up a lot of our budgets going to a new project where we're gonna have parcel paving on all the roads for all the community, which is why he asked us to audit the roads and pick where we think the road money should go. And my answer to him was, it's very simple. We don't need to do that at all. None of our time needs to be spent doing that. The community can do that for us. And for our page we've created, can tell us where they want things. And also Albert has been doing that for many years. And if Albert just pays attention to where the skid marks are on the ground after the bumps, where the engines and cars have been bottoming out into the asphalt, there's a sign in the middle of the road, there's a skid mark there, that bump needs to be fixed. And so what we talked about with Roy was that when we pay somebody to come bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars of maintenance fees for our roads and crews, and all that money disappeared, what they're doing with that, they're kind of just waterproofing the top and adding an inch and a half, which compresses down to a quarter, a half, or 3/4 of an inch of addition to a smoothening of our roads. A pothole repair, a widening, or a general smoothing. And so I think something that my mind likes to do is very importantly look at what costs us money. Potholes cost us money, and they also damage our shocks. They damage our sway bars, our tires. And so there's other projects we can do to add longevity to our vehicles and longevity to our roads. So if there's ever a puddle of water in our road, that's where a pothole will begin. And the puddles need to have a place to drain. And so if we allow ourselves to add material before the paving crew comes in, we will be able to mitigate a lot of these bumps and a lot of these potholes and maintain our vehicles much longer. At some point, as a mechanical mind, as a mechanic, I would like to start submitting maintenance reimbursements for shocks, for sway bars, for things that are damaging our vehicles. And a lot of these things allow us to, kind of justify going into oncoming traffic to avoid these bumps. And that's what motivated me to put lines in the road to help us on some of these blind hills to stay on our side, even though there's a bump there that makes us want to avoid it. And I hope I've gotten through with Roy about how to add material before they come paved and make that bump less likely to try to avoid and keep us in our own lane. So it's a huge safety topic, but it's a lot of information. We looked into a lot of different options. we have to go to the state to dig our roads. That is the term, that is the life, and that is the fact I've gotten from Roy. If we want to dig bumps out of the road, they have to be approved by the state. So if we want to add material on top of the road, we don't need any approval from the state. And it actually is a lot less material cost and a lot less mechanical cost. So if we could just approve a procedure to add material and encourage the crew to adopt this like landscaping rake and adding material and compacting the day that they are paving, the same day, then there will be no water damages and things will improve a lot better. We won't be trying to avoid bumps and we won't be doing this wavy turning and coming into oncoming traffic. And it will also encourage our speed limit to possibly be looked at. You know, we have 4 miles of road pretty much. It's like 4 miles down. Yeah, I've never seen anywhere where it's locked 25 miles an hour for 5.5 miles. I just drove past the hospital today. It's 35 miles an hour and there aren't even any curves. There are no paint reflecting on the roads. It's the hospital. 35 miles an hour at the hospital. And they have a sign that says what your speed limit is. All of these things are options. And I'm a little more grandiose. I'm a little more big picture right now because we are really on our own. We are really creating what we want as a community for what our money goes to. And when we see $150,000 to $300,000 a year, we get to choose where that money goes. And we get to see how it's implemented. So if we get a $200,000 company to put material on our road and it's still as bumpy and it still holds water, that is not a good, efficient money for $200,000.
Here, here.
180, 190, whatever it is. And the challenge comes from finding a company to do the work for us. Roy seems to be the single person who really finds, talks to, takes time to build quotes. It's really not that hard, but we are not professional quote people. We cannot provide accurate numbers. We shouldn't be asked to do that. We don't know roads. We don't know where to get asphalt from. And for us to do that, we might need some education. We might need some guidance, some training, some website videos, and but that's how we're most useful. To see the big numbers, where these $200,000 are going, and how they're put on the roads. And so that's really a lot of emotion for me, but I'm really excited about it, and I really think it's about all I got to say.
I like that vision. Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I like it too.
Well,
It's great.
he's been showing up to a lot of the road meetings, so thank you for paying
That's what
attention.
I've seen.
Thank you for what you've been doing, and thank you.
I love the vision. I love the concept, and I agree. I think those are all very good and thoughtful points. I want to go ahead and unless there's any other topic on road discussion, I'd like to go ahead and move us along and ask if there's any other subjects that somebody might want to bring up, and just open that up for anything that's pressing or that might not have been pre-planned.
Well, something I thought about when we were sitting here, so we've got the cleanup at 2, right? What if we took that opportunity to have a potluck before cleanup?
I would love that. Let's make that happen, and that'll help us get more people involved too.
Great. Yeah, we just need to make sure we tell Roy, or who is Roy the one that's always that we need to tell about coming here and getting a key?
If you are up on your $35, you are the only sole person that has to pay $35 out of any of us to request this space and availability, to come in during business hours and ask for the key, and to say we're gonna have this event on this day. That's why they ask us to pay $35, plus the extra newsletter, but we get use of this whole space. And that's why they're trying to justify another $35 fee. So if we feel that that's fair.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
Is Fern Acres ever going to have sidewalks?
That's something, then when he talks about big pictures, I've heard Ben bring up sidewalks a few times, and that's something that I think everybody would love. And I think that is something that we should look at as a possibility down the road, but in the near term, the easy answer is not soon.
Well, I remember, I remember,
Playground.
I was
That's
thinking
close
about
enough.
sidewalks too. And I remember at one of the previous meetings, it was brought up. And a little bit that Roy looked into it for pricing is it's just completely unfeasible. The amount of money that it would cost to put a single sidewalk down the road is just.
Looking for a place of asphalt.
And may I add, state sidewalks are 5 inches, which is enough to hold a vehicle, which is enough to be safe. And might I remind everybody, there are no sidewalks in front of the hospitals for our state hospital.
Mhm.
The standards of sidewalks can be changed, but the advantage of reducing our mowing costs in half yearly.
If I could, that's
Big point.
That's the good point. It saves us a lot of money, and I was gonna suggest the best of both worlds here would be to pave a bike lane on the side of the
Right,
road,
I think, yeah,
right? So that way we have a wider road that way, right? So whenever we pave this, it just needs to be more. That's
Right.
it. And as long
It
as we
doesn't
do
have to be
that,
a manicured sidewalk,
Right.
hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
painted bike lane would do the job. We would have a lot safer pedestrian traffic and. Yeah, the money that we're currently spending on all that grass could instead go to much more useful things, or just be saved.
Cause you think about it, permanently in the future, we have reduced the cost of our living costs for this community.
Mhm.
If just half of the road was paved on the telephone pole side. There goes half of the mowing fees, which is our largest expense in my mind over time, instead of saving up for a paving.
And if you're gonna do the road anyway, right, expanding it by a few feet is not a crazy tall task, like that is something that we can do.
so would it, do you think a reasonable, quick estimate would be to take like 1/6 of the estimated paving of the roads? And that would be the cost of the extension?
I think,
About 1/6 of the total, right, because it'd be about 1/6 of the road added.
I would,
Theoretically, I mean,
I would guess that's probably along the lines, cause whatever the contract is for the paving, it's just, the main thing will determine like how many times does the machinery need to pass over the same location,
well, and
right?
I think the cost that's gonna be added is it's gonna have to be gravel. So when they come in and they're paving our roads now,
Yes.
they're just paving over pavement. So it's gonna have to be gravelled and compacted and then, so it's probably gonna be more than 1/6, but I think that would be at least get us in the ballpark.
And if we think about the amount of money that we have to do this and what it would cost, like in theory, what it would cost to just pave everything as it is right now, right? If we paved, the road plus 4 feet on each side, just in theory. Just getting us a shoulder, right?
That's what Roy's been talking about, widening the roads. That's why he's been trying to get everybody to move their stuff back.
4 feet on each side, so that would be 8 extra feet per whatever, how many miles?
It's probably gonna be double,
We
whatever.
get a mile a year, don't we?
We have 18-foot roads on, Plumeria, Lehua, Kake, and what's the last one?
Hibiscus?
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus has a short, actually, it's thin
So-
road, it's the one that has the thinnest.
And then,
Who is-
Puhala is a 20-foot road. We are scheduled to have 20-foot roads everywhere. That's our intention. So we're on 18 foot, so we're 2 foot short. And they had an idea of choosing or going evenly, so a foot on either side or 2 feet on one side. But when I spoke with Roy, it seems like the board's intentions and main interests were some of the concerns we brought up, which is turning off of Plumeria and seeing that visual impairment there, and the same with Lehua. And Roy's intention is to enlarge Puhala on the west side, which as we come in, that's that side that's
Mhm.
near us. And that would like 50 feet, he says, we can go that way, away from our neighborhood towards the west. And that's gonna encroach on the one gentleman's property there. who is kind of nearly, his catchment is over the Hawaiian Trail, which is a sanctuary trail that we're trying to honor. And that's why there's only one road coming in and there's no roads going out to Volcano anywhere else besides the next neighborhood. There's a trail there that we want to honor. And so we're not supposed to go that much further, and that's what helped our road stay where it is. But Roy wants to encroach that and challenge that growth. And so Roy talked with me a lot about this. This is all the intentions that go into just trying to make a better curve onto Pohala. We have some concerns that the turn and the oncoming traffic, people coming out of Plumeria and Lehua, they might get T-boned. And Roy's solution is to widen Puhala towards the west and allows that curve to be larger, possibly moving the stop sign out into Puhala. So you're coming out of Lehua further, you're coming out of Plumeria further, and you're seeing down Puhala further. But
I can visualize that.
that's a lot of money to lengthen the width of Puhala the whole way. My suggestion was to offer the neighbors that corner, like 2% of their property, to buy back 2% of their property and to call it, a 1980s overlook of surveyors doing their best they can. They don't see the whole growth of the whole system. Now we're here in this growth. So there's options there, and the board, they talk about this stuff in high detail and it takes a lot of time. So they get 1 day a month to talk about all of this. And in such detail, people get aggravated, people get overwhelmed, details get lost. And so here's the huge advantage to me about bringing in an open discussion on our Facebook page, the verified page, to get people who live here, people who pay, to have valued comments on our stuff. So here's another example of getting communication with our own board committee. To try to bring this to light.
Well, exactly. It's not everybody can show up to these meetings and put input. So how do we widen that? And they're very open to it. It's just like, how do we get there? Progress is slow, as we all know. So,
and to talk about it for 1 hour once a month is not a really good idea. We could have all month to prepare to bring in our solutions for that 1 hour instead of try to figure it out.
It should be a lot.
Right.
I was thinking about making, I don't wanna say business cards or like little tiny flyers for the cleanup.
oh yeah.
Because if we're gonna systematically go through the neighborhood in different areas, there's chances that we're gonna make contact with different people that may or may not have a Facebook, but may open a Facebook because we're like, hey, this is open discussion, we're posting stuff here. We have meetings available that you can watch and catch up on, and then chime in.
And the wider
ideas or opinions or whatever,
Absolutely.
and then also be connected with the things going on.
exactly.
The
That's a
potluck
great-
or, whatever.
We actually talked about that a little bit. Roy even offered to do printouts, so we just need that's one other thing I can make, or just take what I already created and put 4 on one page. He said he could print them out here if we need to. I also have a printer.
Okay, so you made something?
I made something for the cleanup day and the sign. So this is the sign that was just like all of the times that would ideally be very big. We can make it better or whatever. I just making it so it can be visible. It can be really big out in the front. And then I definitely made the cleanup day that has our QR code to our Facebook page. I also do have this Fern Acres community Gmail at gmail.com email. Anybody, one of us can use it. I've been using it to email the board,
I'd like to bring a motion.
Perfect.
Thank Lola for her outstanding service in this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Make sure this makes it in the minutes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, all in favor of the motion to thank?
Aye. Thank you.
Any opposed?
Oh, I guess I have a question.
I just like to say that This is the kind of people who are getting kicked off the other Facebook page. These are
Yeah.
the kind of residents you guys are kicking off for your.
I know.
You want to make a difference.
Thank you.
Want to do nothing but good.
I told Julia and I posted it on our page. I was like, they kicked me off. I don't know why, but whatever. I'm not sour about it. And it's my I'm happy to help, and it takes all of us to do something. Like, thank you to Benjamin for going to all these road meetings and talking to Roy, and taking all this time to collect all this information to share with us.
Actually is not a lot.
It is.
A
lot of detail,
Phone call,
so.
and I might encourage everyone to just stop in during business hours, just
Yeah.
give a simple hello.
Yeah.
And that does so much to just not ask for anything, just say hello. Just stop in, say hello, and say thank you for everything you've already done. If anybody has time to do that, that really does so much for us and all the crew.
Yeah.
Again, too, if we get a chance to see the crew in action, a picture, like a celebration picture is so good. We get pictures of complaints, but we hardly get pictures of compliments. So we could really do a lot with that.
Yeah, that's a.
I wrote that down, was
Yeah.
to like actually share some of the positive things they're doing. Like, they're out there clearing that corner at least by Hibiscus so people can see better. So and they've been trying to do it by Paula, but we know we run into some issues with the owner, the land there. So like celebrating the positive stuff that they're doing. So I think I think we definitely should do that and
Absolutely.
acknowledge them for what they are doing.
Absolutely. Let's make sure that they get some kudos this month.
Yeah, if anybody wants to have photo posted, or I'll try to remember the next time.
And also Roy offered us to print at the office, so all of those prints for flyers and QR codes and cards, they could print out like 8 cards per paper.
Nice.
We could just hand out cards on regular old paper. Some solutions I made for marketing was you can buy like 200 sticky labels for boxes. It's a waterproof label to stick on a box. Like, that's a perfect card holder. And you don't have to stick it, but you could just put it on somebody's gate, or you could just leave it. Like, hey, we cleaned up your trash and we want your input on the road. Something.
Yeah.
Like, here's a QR code. And even if the QR code didn't have to require a Facebook account, maybe the QR code could just bring it to a factual page that says, here's our meeting times.
I was thinking about that today, just because, well, so that's the thing. And we're working on it. We're making progress. Progress is slow. I have been in touch with Claudia, who runs the CERT team, who also happens to run the website at fernacres.org. We should utilize what's already there. They actually did add the meeting times to the bottom. It's kind of cut off. She expressed needing help. And if Claudia happens to listen to this or hear that, I did email you, like, let me know. I want to help her make it better, to use it as a tool to communicate with people a little bit better. It does take time and work, but like, we need to have that to help make sure we're getting as much involvement as we can.
I agree with you about that. I was thinking about that too, having a different website with information too, but no, I think that's perfect.
It's just hard because like we want to make all these solutions, and I'm sure they've been talking about this kind of stuff, and it's like I think, they just need more involvement, and that's what we're trying to do. And so showing up to some of their meetings and to encourage them to let them help us, let us help you.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And they do seem willing. So it's just slow progress. It's not going to be as fast as any of us wants. I know that much for sure.
I do want to celebrate Roy. He created a text group, and that's new. That's not something that's commonly happened. So there's a text group for just like the road committee and the people that go to the road board meetings. And like, they've really made movements there. And it's just really awesome to realize that my life is a life that started cell phones. When I was like a senior, sophomore in high school, I got my first cell phone. And I'm like 37, 38 now, so I can't remember, something like that. So like, we're just coming into this new technology phase of life where some of us really take it for granted, and it's so natural to just have a phone all the time. Some of us don't want to do that. So we're really grateful for other people incorporating the text messaging and the Facebook and all that stuff.
Excellent. Well, I feel like we covered all the things that were on my list of things to cover. Unless there's any other emergencies, I'm willing to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I do have 2 points to bring up. we could make progress with votes towards how to improve merging onto Puhala. Whether it be to make Puhala wider or to try to encourage the customers, the neighbors to change their property line. We probably need to ask for solutions.
Okay, put that speed on back. Yeah, slow it down.
Slow them down.
That was a
You've been
big,
saying that forever.
What is that? The
So
speed, we're not asking for nothing different, the hump was there.
Yeah.
It got paved over, so now it's insufficient. Put it back.
we,
I don't think that's
yeah.
gonna have to slow them down, I've seen like people like flying like 60.
Well, you're not gonna slow down guys like
Oh,
60.
yeah.
Down is down.
They will
down is
pay
down.
for it.
Yeah,
They
it will
pay for
slow
it.
most of us down. He's right, like, that's the problem. No one solution will fix all of that.
Now, now here we bring up a very good topic. Because skid marks break the water barrier in the road, and that's something we pay all our money for, is to create a water barrier for our road. We charge people $500 to put their metal tracks on our road. We value our waterproofing of our road to the tune of $500 for a scratch. Now, we put in a speed hump and people speed over it to learn their lesson. Their car scratches the road. We cause them to create a $500 damage to our road, and we can't find who to charge that to. Our speed bumps, it can't, we have a sign we paid for to put out there that says we will charge you $500 for scratching our roads. Now we put up a bump and people speed and it scratches our roads.
That's like,
Uh,
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, what's the solution there?
Put the hump, like I said, you're not gonna stop, the guy's going 60, no matter what you do, you're not gonna stop him from going 60.
Yeah, we can't fix
You know what I
that.
mean? The hump is there to slow people down, so that other residents can get out of the road safely, it's for safety.
Yeah,
You're not gonna stop nobody from scratching a road. I mean,
We're
is that-
hoping they
that's
learn
your
their
biggest-
lesson,
your
right?
biggest worry is scratching a road? Like,
And
no,
just-
these are
think
good,
about
these
that.
are good.
Listen to that.
I feel you, but how do we justify,
Potentially putting us bump for them to scratch the road, that just sounds ridiculous to me.
I like-
We're talking about safety here,
yeah,
safety is the big picture, not scratching the road.
I like the suggestion of restoring the original.
Yeah, it
speed.
was there already.
And I also like the suggestion of widening the road or otherwise paying, maybe not even paying them to relinquish their property, but asking for their permission for us to cut back the vegetation. That is probably something that would not be impossible and would just immediately give more visibility and help to make it a lot safer right there. And those might be worth bringing up as points of discussion in the next road committee if we've got somebody there who can do that. Go
And
ahead.
I know they said that the vegetation is cut back all the way, but there's a fence line, and the vegetation is not cut all the way back to the fence line.
That's
There's
right.
coconut trees on the outside of the fence line.
Yeah.
There's like 3 foot of brush on the outside of the fence line, so take it all the way back to the fence line.
and on that note, the surveyors say the fence line can be here. And that is actually what I understood with Roy, is their property line is on the edge of the road. And that seems to be the conflict. That the surveyors and the way the whole map came out,
Which
that
property is this, the corner of Plumeria?
Plumeria and,
Well, there's survey pins out there right now.
supposedly that's what I understood.
The lot, the second lot and the third lot coming in was recently purchased, and there's survey pins right there right now, and it's not on the edge of the road.
Great,
So take it all the way back to the survey pin.
that's great. Oh,
There's
great. We should,
bamboos on the other side of that survey pin.
can we like lock that note in, that's a fact,
That's
that's
a
a
fact. There's a
measurable
survey
fact.
pin right there right now.
So we wanna like use that as a measurable fact and build off of that. So we don't wanna lose that. We have new pins that should be measured. Can you lock that in, Leila?
Yes.
With some, whatever method, how do you wanna lock that in?
I don't know.
We have new pins, off of Plumeria to Puhala.
Let's get a photo of them.
Second and third lot, not the corner lot, but the second and third one, they'll just clear.
Okay.
Grab a photo.
They had it surveyed, there's survey pins right there.
Yep.
And it's like 5-6 feet off the road.
Snap a photo of the survey pin
Okay.
and
And
rewind.
that pin lines up exactly with that corner lot.
Map.
I think it's super valuable. I wanna lock that in. Yeah,
I don't get why
Okay,
clear that vegetation all the way back to the fence.
right.
If for any reason we're wrong about where the property lines are, for some weird reason, we probably could get permission to cut the vegetation. That is something that I think we could probably do. Let's make sure that we get a snap picture of that, and then we'll take these to the road committee on the next.
Yes, I've heard Roy say several times that they're very hostile toward, not hostile, they're very adamant about not letting anybody cut that brush.
The
hmm,
corner house.
They probably like their privacy. And it's,
Well, I don't know what the specific issue is, but every time I hear somebody bring up cutting that brush back, it's kind of shrugged off and laughed because of how much fighting they've had, the road crew has had with that lot.
right, and
And so-
that's this, I love that topic because that seems to be the reoccurring answer to why things don't get done here. They just don't have a measurable answer, and you just offered us a measurable solution.
Yeah.
We have some new pins in the ground we can justify off of.
You could even call a surveyor and ask them to put that corner pin in.
Yeah.
That'll answer it right there.
And so somebody paid thousands of dollars to get those pins put in, and getting the board to justify that,
It's actually not thousands of dollars.
hopefully not. Right.
No, it's not even close to
I paid
thousands of dollars.
16, dang.
You got ripped off.
Well, they mowed, they just plowed straight through jungle, 800 feet, I think they deserved it.
oh, yeah.
But maybe just on the edge where it's clear, right?
Yeah.
That's a good,
Just put the corner pin, the corner on.
and bushes should not be past the pin, that should be the answer,
And if you-
yeah,
when you drive
bushes
up-
should not
When
be
you drive
past the
up,
pin.
look, there's coconut trees on the outside of the fence.
You can see them on Google
Yeah,
Maps.
what-
I was
what's
trying to
the-
zoom in, but the internet's not liking all
Cut it
the
down.
tabs I have open.
And
That
so
hard.
here's another topic, Roy, it's same topic, but another avenue. Roy is pushing for widening Puhala the other way, avoiding these neighbors. Maybe there's some real Ohana, real aloha spirit that just says, don't mess with these people, and we don't know about that, and we want to respect them and their space, and maybe we should know about that. Maybe Roy does. So maybe there's something there we should learn more about.
Yeah, you can literally see the shadows of the palm trees.
I really
We'll see.
appreciate everyone's remarks on this. I'm gonna have to go soon, because I gotta pick up my kids from youth group.
Great, and I'd like to just close out and just say thank you for listening to me with what I got from Roy, with what the board thinks is most important to them. That's what I try to
So I
do.
greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everyone's input was awesome tonight. Thank you. This is a really, really constructive meeting. We got stuff that we've got planned on the agenda to do over the next month and for the next meeting and for the next board/road crew meeting. So
Yep.
we've got a good little huddle going, and I think we can all basically go start attacking this. Feel free to contact the group through our text channel or on the Facebook group, and we'll kind of keep each other posted of our efforts. Guys, if you need anything from me, feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any opposition?
I oppose.
Okay, now we gotta call it.
I would just love to ask Leila if you could ask the office to print that stuff for you.
Yep.
Instead of paying your money
Yeah,
and your ink.
I actually already did. I'm in the works of
Oh,
it.
wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm done.
Okay, that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
guys. Thanks,
I'll get it-
Thank
everybody.
you, everyone, for joining us online. Aloha. We look forward to seeing you at the next meeting. Please feel free to leave us some feedback or whatever's on your mind you'd like to see us discuss, or come be part of the conversation. Thanks again. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.